was born by the river in a little tent, yeah. And just like the river, I've been flowing ever since. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh, yes, it will. Good evening, YouTube. I definitely have something to share with you today. And this has been over the course of a week that this came to me in a download. And what occurred to me was that many of us are not really living in our bodies. Our bodies, you see, are supposed to be a vessel designed for us to learn how to not only live in and use, but also to take off in and to master. It's kind of like our ship. But many of us live in the world. And what I mean by that is the mind is key. Your mind is made in the image of God, which means that if the universe and God are mental and were made with the word and of the word, then that means that your mind commands based on the word and based on thought. And your mind can also basically manipulate matter. However, we have not conjured up enough strength, mental strength, to command our bodies and to command matter around us. And it's really a process. If you start with learning or basically knowing that you have the ability to do this, then you practice daily. And it can be as simple as lying in your bed for 15 minutes when you wake up in the morning, before you answer the phone, before you cut on the TV, before you even step foot out of the bed. Just lie there and move your mind around in your body, because it has the capability to go anywhere. And we're going to refer to our bodies as earth, okay? Your mind has the ability to travel anywhere on your earth. When you allow your mind to travel to the lower parts of, or basically to the body, we call that to the earth, to come out of heaven and travel around on earth. Understand the earthlings, understand your cells, listen to your cells, and actually listen to your body. It will tell you what it needs. When you listen to your body, the mind knows what foods it needs, because it can understand what the cells are deficient in, because they speak to the mind. But if you don't still the mind long enough, or even venture to the earth, venture into your body, then you don't understand your own people and you become a tyrant. So you have to understand what your body needs in order to give it to them. A tyrant only cares about what it needs and what it wants. For example, when the mind wants something, it's usually something that harms the body. And it's also something that's temporary in pleasure. That is, like milk, cheese, little Debbie cakes, you name it. The mind wants the temporary pleasure of that high that you get from the emotional satisfaction by eating these processed foods, regardless of the effects that those foods have on the body long term. And because you can't see the long term effects, and most of these things that you eat into your body that are artificial don't show you short term effects unless you're in touch with your body. As soon as I eat something that I know my body doesn't like, I develop mucus, or I develop like an itching sensation on my skin, or I develop a rash. Like, it happens almost instantaneously. And I know that there was something, some ingredient in that food that did not sit well with my body. But sit in bed for 15 minutes and just move your mind around. Start with your little toe. You don't have to even wiggle your little toe. All you have to do is just put your mind there and allow it to connect with your little toe. Then go through all of your toes and then move it up through your muscles and through your bones and your joints up into your heart, and then go back into your head and feel the cycle of energy move around in your body from the top of your head down to the bottom, the soles of your feet. And with this energy, you begin to learn how to move it around into your body to the places that need it the most. And this is how you learn to heal yourself. Now, this information is taught in so many different cultures, but it's actually not widespread. And this has been written in many books that are no longer in print. But our ancestors knew this, and you are your ancestors. So your ancient self can connect with this information in some form or fashion. And if you feel a connection to it, then you're tapping in. You're tapping into that Akashic record that exists inside of you. And the whole idea of being in connection with your body, you see, the mind, it rules the body. I think it was Isaac and Esau, or I know that I'm butchering his name, but even though Esau was born first, Isaac was the one who inherited the kingdom of God. And that's because Isaac represented the mental, and his brother, even though he was older, represented the physical. And so the mind rules matter. However, when you become too cocky and allow ego to take over the mind, it can destroy the body. And so the God nature of mind is generation for G, operation for O, and destruction for D. That is the acronym of God, but every God has a name. And if you insert your name, you are the epitome. You are the made in the image of generation, operation, and destruction. And the mind has the power to do that. So we know you really don't want to destroy your body. So the first thing you need to understand is that you are not your body. And the way that you understand this is there's a part of you that claims your body as possession. When you say my arm, my eyes, my legs, that part of you understands that the body is separate from you. It is claiming possession over the body because it does own the body, and this is the mind. This is the spirit interlocking with the mind. It knows that it is inside of the body. But when you do not connect with the body, you often live in the world. You live in your thoughts, which travel. And when you travel with your thoughts and you live in the business of others, and you don't really take time to understand what you have here, then you can get lost out there while your body is on autopilot trying to keep you alive. The mind is recklessly endangering the body by not being there with it. And so when you separate from the body and you're out there watching TV or in somebody else's business instead of your own, then the body is not able to send you the messages, or basically the mind is not able to receive the messages that the body is sending out, because it's away. It's always gone. It's never at home. Pull it back in. and live in your body long enough to understand what its needs are, to hear its needs. When you do this, I promise you will see great rewards and your body will connect with you. The mind and body will be one. Once the mind and body unite and are one, then it can bring the spirit in. When the spirit is present and it is no longer weighed down by all of these different thoughts and fears and insecurities, then your kundalini will start to rise. And this is where you gain the energy to renew yourself. And this is how Enoch, I think that's his name. Correct me if I'm wrong in the descriptions or in the comments below, but this is how he was able to rise into heaven without dying. And so, in other words, once you have mastered your body with your mind, then the body begins to if you're mastering it, it's listening to your commands. You can command the body to do anything because that is the nature of your species, the human species. We're able to command and name whatever we choose. We have dominion over the animals of the earth. And you, my friend, right now are an animal, whether you like that or not, until you learn to name the animal, tame the animal, and allow that animal nature to transform into a higher nature. And see, when you allow that animal nature to transform, that's when the beasts of the earth go extinct. That's when your beastly ways will die off. And at this moment, you start to rise and you become that god or that goddess that you were born to be. And so the whole human life is about transformation. It's about growth. It's about understanding why you're here. And it's about gaining your wings. This is where you come to master yourself. Most of us, because we don't understand this mission, we try to master and control everything outside of us without realizing that the goal is to learn and master yourself. And it's the hardest thing to do. It's actually easier for people, some people, to control others than it is for them to control themselves. But understand these emotions, understand how they link up with the body and how they affect the body, how positive and loving emotions can regenerate the body, and how negative and harmful emotions can damage the body and destroy the body. So it's all connected and it's all so real, whether you believe in it or not. I'm here to let you know that you possess everything that you need already. There's nothing that you need outside of the body except for what the mind has been programmed to want and need and think that it can't live without. But when you change the program, then you change your existence and your reality. So that's my message today, beloveds. I hope you are taking care of yourselves out there. And drop me any comments if there's anything that you would like me to speak about, because I think with no, I know that, with me being able to walk in my power full time and not having to, you know, work a job and spend my time doing something that I really didn't love, I'm able to contribute to the community more and focus on giving you the information quicker and as it comes. So, first of all, thank you for allowing me to have this outlet and for being so positive in the comments. And please share your thoughts. Until next time, peace.